Hi, I'm Josh Adams, and this is my demo for assignment 4. Here is my emulator, and if I click on my Project4 app, it's going to pull up a student database. I currently have the student with the ID number 3 that will pull up their information hard-coded, just so I know that it was working. The functionality is the user can come and choose a student by their ID. So if we want to look up student 1, we would type in 1 and look up the student. It'll send a JSON object and put the data here with student 1 showing. The user can continue to do this throughout their use of the app, and it'll continue polling. In addition to this, you can click on this register a new student or register a student button, and it'll pull up a new activity. This is the post activity for adding a student. If we go, it's currently using my API from assignment 3. You can see the student 2, 1, 9. Down here the last student that was entered was student number 4. So we're going to go ahead and add a student 5. So we'll put student 5 in, give them a first name of Jordan and a last name of Last. Make them a sophomore and a male. For the birthday, I added a calendar functionality, so when you click it, the user can scroll through, choose their birthday, so September 5th, and just scroll down. We'll make them about 1991. December 5th, 1991. Done. When the user clicks post, it'll give them a little toast statement to the screen saying student registered successfully. We can go over here and refresh our database and come down, and now we have a new student of 5 with Jordan Last, September 5th, 1991, male sophomore. I currently have the classes that then enrolled in, just enrolled in all 4 classes, and I do not give them any extra activities. I didn't put in areas for those yet. That's something I'm going to do in the future. One problem with this post is it allows for null data right now. The only time it'll give you an error is if you do not make a successful connection to the API. You can press back to go back and forth between the screens of registering a student. You can type in our new student here, look them up, and they will pop up here. We can try student 6, which doesn't exist, and it'll pop up an error. Oops, sorry, there is an error, please try again, because no student 6 exists in our database. So I did put in a try-catch functionality statement for this page. If you go ahead and go back to the home screen and look at our apps, we can power down our phone. So phone shut off, we'll power it back on and go back to our app, and the data is still saved in the current state. So it is being saved on the phone side while the phone's off, so they can come back, and you can see we still have our number 6 in and our Michael Jordan. Just to show you that it is hard-coded here, we can close all apps and reset all the files stored on the app. So we'll go here and we'll go to settings, go to our apps, and we'll force stop it. Head back home and go to Project 4, and it'll bring up our student 3 that's hard-coded in there. I can make it so there's not a student hard-coded, but then it'll just be the values I put inside my text box. Just to run through it one more time, look up student 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That kind of covers the functionality of this app. Just to show you too, the back button does work for here. If you don't want to use this button, you can use this back button down here. The resources I used my own API from assignment 3. I used Square's OKHTTP to deal with my gets, or using my get. This is just open source library by Square. I used Butterknife to inject my views to variables to use within my app. And to show you a quick glimpse of the code here, if you look at my first activity, this is where Butterknife's coming in. It's taking this text view box by ID, the first name label, so this first name label, and it's adding it to a variable so I can interact with it on this activity page. This is my button listener for looking up a new student to update the page. And down here is the main function, the run app, where it's checking, and this is where the error handling comes in. It's checking to make sure the network's available. If it's available, then it'll go through and set this JSON object, or set this object with the JSON data that it's using. And if it's not successful, it'll alert the user about the error. And once it's done, or if it doesn't connect to the network, it'll use a little toast statement to pop up and let the user know that the network's unavailable. Here's where it's updating the variables in this class, in my student class. It's using these variables we set through the view IDs to update them with the set text. And here's where I'm getting the getting the details from this JSON object that I'm passing for each of the variable last name, first name, gender. And just a quick look before we run out of time, this is where my post exists, and I'll put this code here on my PDF file. And that's the conclusion of my app.